Amy Winehouse. The final verse. No one heard Amy Winehouse lie still in her Camden flat, framed by two half-empty vodka bottles and the looping sound of the Shangri-Las from her laptop. Her iconic beehive spreads across the pillow like an exclamation mark at the end of a haunting sentence. But don't be fooled by the calm. This scene sparked a firestorm. The initial coroner's ruling, tossed out when her credentials were found lacking. The second inquest brushed it off as misadventure. But that tidy verdict solved nothing. Add a cast of real-life suspects, most notably her ex-husband Blake Fielder Civil, and you've got the makings of a mystery far deeper than it first appeared. Strap in. We're diving into sealed files, disappearing footage, and that unnerving 45-minute window no one can explain. The question we're chasing, did Amy write her own ending? Or was it ghost-written by forces she couldn't outrun? The door that shouldn't have opened just before 4 p.m. Bodyguard Andrew Morris opens the bedroom door. Inside, Amy, motionless, half-lidded, surrounded by the remains of a last binge. By the time paramedics arrived at 3:54 p.m., rigor mortis had already begun, a clear sign she'd been gone for some time. Outside, Camden Square flashed with blue lights while stunned neighbors pressed phones through the railings, capturing a grim moment in music history. Her BAC, 0.416%, 5 times the UK limit. Still, both the original inquest in 2011 and its 2013 repeat called it misadventure. But key records remain locked. What might they still be hiding? The Southgate spark rewind to 1992. Osborne Road, Southgate. 9-year-old Amy is already commanding weekend stages at Susie Earnshaw Theatre School, rapping in a duo called Sweet and Sour with her best friend Juliet Ashby. They were blending Holiday's pain with playground punchlines. And Amy? She knew she was onto something. That fierce mashup of smoky soul and street edge would become her signature weapon. Grandma's rules. Her way by 14, Amy was in and out of the Sylvia Young Theatre School. The reason? Her rebellious spirit and a growing collection of piercings. While the school denies expelling her, Amy wore that lax discipline label like armor. She wasn't just hard to tame, she was impossible to box in. The vinyl mentor. Her real mentor? Grandma Cynthia, a jazz singer who once had Ronnie Scott under her spell. Amy soaked up the classics at her Nan's, learning Heartbreak from Billie Holiday and Attitude from Dinah Washington. No music school could have taught her what those records did. DIY to Noi Joe. At 14, Amy scraped together enough cash for her first guitar and turned her bedroom into a recording den. By 2000, she'd earned a spot with the National Youth Jazz Orchestra. She wasn't just singing anymore. She was being recognized as a vocal force in spaces far grander than any pub stage. Holly Arms, Hard Lessons. Still underage, Amy started cutting her teeth at Camden's Holly Arms open mic nights. With each performance, she drew in the most cynical drinkers and turned them into believers. These gigs didn't just polish her, they toughened her, track by track. Frank. Acclaimed Not Cash Island Records gave her a shot, pairing her with Salaam Remi and other studio pros. Her 2003 debut, Frank, hit #1, 13 in the UK. Critics raved, though sales moved slowly. Amy didn't care. She was building something deeper, a loyal fan base that would ride with her into darker, louder places. First major award in May 2004, Amy nabbed an Ivor Novello Award for Stronger Than Me. The same month, Frank was shortlisted for the Mercury Prize. She toasted the wins, scribbling future lyrics on pub napkins, already plotting her next sonic rebellion. Birth of a masterpiece between 2005 and 2006, Amy, Salaam Remi, and Mark Ronson played sonic mad scientists. They stitched Motown, soul, and bruised lyrics into Back to Black. When it dropped, it didn't just top charts, it rewired British pop overnight. Rehab refused the rules. Rehab wasn't born in the studio but in a cab. Her team said, "Go to rehab." She shot back, "No, no, no." That hook became an anthem. The single climbed into the top 10 in both the UK and US. Amy had turned her resistance into revolution. Grammys without a visa. In 2008, barred from entering the U.S. for the Grammys, Amy performed live via satellite. She won 5 awards that night, but behind the glow, her thin frame sparked concern. Her triumph was as visible as her fragility. Blake. The human flame enter Blake Fielder Civil. Chaos wrapped in skinny jeans. Their love story was explosive. Tattoos, drugs, and jail time. Amy's devotion was inked across her chest, but behind their closed door, things got messier than even Back to Black dared to say. Bergen, blood, and mystery tapes. In 2007, Norwegian cops raided Amy and Blake's hotel room, citing a minor cannabis bust. But rumors swirled. Missing tapes, strange edits, and cover-ups. Some still think it wasn't just about weed, it was a message. Vows and verdicts. The couple married quietly in Miami in May 2007. By the next year, Blake was in prison for assault and obstruction. Letters Amy wrote him from London later sold for thousands. Her devotion was never in question. His motives always were. Ballet shoes and bandages. One 2007 photo changed everything. Amy barefoot, bloodied, makeup smeared. No charges filed, no clear explanation. She later said some injuries were self-inflicted. The rest, no one ever really explained. Glastonbury. Her comeback moment. June 2008, Amy hit Glastonbury's Pyramid stage with fire in her throat. She silenced doubters with a roaring set, battling hecklers and demons alike. For 50 glorious minutes, she reminded the world who she was. Belgrade breakdown. By 2011, things were slipping. Amy's Belgrade performance was a train wreck. Forgotten lyrics, boos from fans. Days later, her tour was canceled. Whispers say she begged not for booze, but for a doctor. The truth NDA'd into silence. The secret illness. In 2013, her brother revealed Amy had struggled with bulimia since her teens. Not drugs, not drink, but an eating disorder may have weakened her heart. It was the part of her pain we didn't see until it was too late. Rehab, rewind, repeat. From the Priory to Osea Island, Amy cycled through rehab centers from 2007 to 2011. Some say she kept writing lyrics through detox. Others say she was just trying to survive. Maybe both are true. Burglary at the Shrine weeks after Amy died. Someone broke into her Camden home and stole her notebooks and guitar. Police blamed random theft. Fans called it a targeted heist. Unreleased demos later surfaced online, and the estate never confirmed what exactly was taken. The guard who missed at 10 a.m., July 23, 2011, Andrew Morris checks on Amy, assumes she's sleeping. By 3 p.m., she's gone. Rigor mortis had already begun. A 5-hour gap. No CPR, no second look. Just a missed moment that changed everything. No cameras, no clues. There were no security cams in Amy's hallway. No timestamp footage, just Morris's account and silence. Anything could have happened behind that door. And now it never can be proven otherwise. The vanishing hour between 3 and 3:54 p.m. Something final happened. No phone call, no witness, no note. Just a blank space in the timeline. The last unwritten line of her final track. Blue lights and flickering phones. By 4 p.m., the scene was chaos. Fans gathered. Media vans rolled in. Camden Square became both a crime scene and a shrine. The sky filled with sirens and candlelight. A coroner discredited, the original coroner, Suzanne Greenaway, was forced to step down, lacking proper credentials. The 2011 verdict? Thrown out. The 2013 redo? Still misadventure. But trust had already cracked. Sealed files, open questions. The second inquest confirmed. Amy Winehouse didn't just leave behind albums. She left riddles, sealed files, erased footage, and a 45-minute gap history can't explain. Her voice still haunts speakers, her lyrics still sting like fresh wounds, and her death remains a question no inquest could fully answer. Was it just misadventure? Or a chorus cut short by something more deliberate? Years later, fans still press their lips to her bronze likeness in Camden, still spin back to black and wonder, who failed her? Who stayed silent? And who might still be holding the missing verse? We may never hear Amy's final song, but maybe, just maybe, we haven't heard the whole truth either.